Okay, good morning. The purpose of this video is to show how to use the work item extract that I recently made available on the SplitDimeData website. There was a lot of feedback going on in the Atlassian community about people struggling with the concept of unloading their work items, and that really came about more so in the past couple of months when the process changed and nobody knew how to do the new pagination and so forth. So got all that worked out. I've been working on it for a couple of years, quite frankly. And so now let's just go through how you can use the work item extract and set it up to go. So following this is my cheat sheet, SplitDimeData.com. You would go to the download page, download the XLS. And then once you're in Excel, we're going to go ahead and open the data tab and go to Power Query. So kind of show what that looks like. This is the current spreadsheet. I only have 3 records loaded in it most recently. I'm going to go to the Get Data. I'm going to be on the Data tab. Go to Get Data, and then I'm going to launch the Power Query Editor. Once you're in the Power Query Editor, you'll see that we've got a couple of parameters that need to be provided, and a field list, as well as the JQL for executing the universe of work items that you're looking for. And then a couple of result sets here, including custom fields. I've provided your custom fields because when you get ready to determine what you want to have come through the extract, you might need to know what the custom field values are. So there is a spreadsheet of custom field values, and after you execute once or twice, you'll see what fields you want to use, and you can refine your field list that is input into the actual extract. All right, so we're into Power Query. What's our next step here? Alright, so we've opened Power Query, and now we are going to update the URL, the email, and the API tokens. I produced another video just a little bit ago about how to get your API token, and what will happen when you get your API token is you will come into the spreadsheet and put it into those parameter values we were just talking about. I think it's pretty easy to go into the Manage Parameters, so you see all the parameters that you have to provide. Your API token would be pasted here. Your user email would be pasted there. Pretty obvious stuff. The field list is kind of painful because it doesn't have a lot of real estate here for managing that, so you probably want to do that in an editor and then paste it in here as opposed to trying to actually type it in here. And then of course the JQL that you want to use. I'm going to go ahead and change the JQL and show you why. I'm going to go into the ecosystem, which is where I'm actually pulling my data from. It's a great test site for me to pull data from all kinds of different projects that people have set up. So I created a filter some time ago called the SplitDime 90-day update example, and it brings back anything that's been updated in the past 90 days. The filter ID is this 71911, and so instead of providing JQL in my tool, in my spreadsheet, I'm going to use the filter ID. That gives me a lot of power when I'm working with a team to say, hey, I'm looking at this group of tickets. I need you guys to go out and clean some stuff up. They can do that, and then I can re-extract the spreadsheet. And again, using the filter ID is just ideal if you can do that. So I'm going to change my JQL now to be just that value, the filter ID. And I'm going to say OK. And now I'm going to come down to my work item records, and you remember there was only 3 records in there a minute ago. I mean, I can't really believe how lightning fast it retrieved the 800 records that are part of that filter. That's just amazing to me. So I'm going to go ahead now and close and load. And now I'm on the Data tab, and I have to tell the spreadsheet to refresh. So I'll go ahead and refresh all. You can watch the progress down here, and you can see that it's down to 783, probably pausing for a little network traffic before it finishes filling out the actual spreadsheet, but it is loading it now. There you go. All of the fields that I had specified have been provided in the the spreadsheet format. I've also got another tab where the custom fields are available, and again, if you decide, hey, I need site address as something to be added into my list, I just have to take this custom field value and plug it into the field list in the parameters, and it'll be added to the extract automatically. So let's come back to our instructions again here. So we've updated the JQL, and we could have added fields if we wanted to. We refreshed the preview when I clicked on the work item data. There weren't any data source issues. The first time you run, you're probably going to run into something that says what is your permissions and what is your public or organization or whatever your privacy. So it's you should be using organization, privacy, and anonymous attachment. That's the way that you get into the APIs. If you have that question, and you'll only get it once when you're using a site that you're normally used to using. We completed the refresh. There were no fields that we changed. This would be something where if you get a field that is a date and you want to structure it differently, or you get a field that's like a name of a person, like the assignee, which I've already done for you. But if you get another name in your list, then you just want the actual display name. You don't want the email and the ID and all that kind of stuff. You can go in there and clean that up as part of the kind of Power Query tailoring. And if you're not familiar with that, don't worry about it. That can certainly help people who haven't done it, and once you've done it once or twice, you won't need to call me anymore, I'm sure. And then you're going to close and load, which we did in the spreadsheet. We went back into Excel, and we went to the data tab, and we hit refresh. So process done. Now, two quick things I want to mention. When you go into the Atlassian REST world, there's actually three kinds of data that you're going to encounter. One being configuration data. And it's not real obvious in the REST API documentation. So you've got REST calls that deal with how things are configured. Work item types, issue types, are very important. They attach to different projects. So in a project, you may say, I want to be able to do stories and issues and epics and so forth, and that's an item type. The item type will tell you then you can attach it to various screens, various workflows, custom fields, and so forth. The point being that the configuration REST API calls, if you're looking at the documentation, are in the same documentation as the data calls. And the data calls would be more like, okay, we've actually created 500 tickets for this particular version, or we've got Charlie is assigned to so many different tickets and so forth, or I want to see the changelog analytics for a universe of tickets. That's the data. So, and then the third type of data really is reference data. So you've got configuration that says I've got a work item type, and then maybe you've got a list of statuses. That would be your reference data, what the various status values would be. So anyway, so in the work item extract that you've got now that I've already made available, it's just the work item fields, and I've already got working versions of the change log and the work logs and so forth, but baby steps, I've put the work item fields out there. I hope it works for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and thank you very much.